Roundup. I'm your host, Jake Friel. As always, Steve Reichel, Tom Arnone,
What up?
Nick Giuliano. Got a jam-packed show for you today. A little more condensed than usual since we have our A2D Mock Draft reaction show later on tonight at 8 p.m. Be sure to check it out. It's going to be all your favorite A2D personalities. Don't want to miss it. We'll be covering that at the tail end of the show, just telling you what our plan is and kind of just how we're going to do stuff for 8 o'clock tonight.
Picks, we're going to have, everybody will give you who they think's going to go. And then the draft simulator will draft for us, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to have highlight videos, images of guys in just terms of like their measurables, statistics, everything. So it's going to be like, for us not having any sports, it's almost like another draft tonight we're going to have on A2D.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. We're all going to be there, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just adding on.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, starting off, we'll be giving our greatest rivalries in sports. Now, it doesn't have to be team to team rivalries. It can also be individual rivalries, player versus player rivalries, whatever. And also, we'll be giving our expectations for the coming NFL draft next Thursday, the first virtual NFL draft. Kind of what we'll expect from that, kind of how different, obviously, for all of us, it's going to be dealing with everything with the coronavirus situation. And also, like I touched on earlier, going to be talking about the A2D mock draft reaction show that we have tonight at 8 p.m. But leading up, first things first, let's get to our sponsor. We are brought to you by our doc, Make 'em Yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, and Princeton locations. Find them on the web at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. And our poll question is also brought to you by Ambuck Services, AMBUCK Services.com. Call Michael Ambrose, tell him A2D sent you, get yourself 20% off gutter guards, anything you need done outside of your house, he's got you covered. That website again is ambuckservices.com. Leading up to the poll question, Red Sox versus Yankees is the greatest rivalry in sports. Agree or disagree?
Who wants to go? Who wants to run this one first?
I disagree. Everyone wants to go with the freaking Yankees and the freaking Red Sox. It's because baseball's probably the longest running American sport that we have. We've been here since the early 1900s when we're talking about it. So it's always Yankees, Red Sox. But when you really talk about it, for the longest time, there was no real rivalry. It was just the Yankees beating the skulls and out of the Red Sox. Mm-hmm. So what rivalry is there? There's just hatred. I mean, we can sit there and say that it's the more heated rivalry. I mean, if you want to talk about the best rivalry, like it's I already said I'm going for the jugular. How do we not talk about Nancy freaking Kerrigan and Tanya Harding? It's the craziest rivalry of all time.
That's a good one.
That's deep, brother.
That's
deep. But listen,
I mean, come on. I mean,
you say about the Red Sox Yankees, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. But I think what makes it bigger is the trade, right? And when the Babe Ruth trade and when it all started in the curse. So that's what makes that rivalry deeper and bigger. And listen, when you talk about huge markets in New York and Boston, obviously that rivalry is going to be something talked about among everybody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think with me, I'll have to disagree also. I think with me, my biggest rivalry in sports, and there's so many, I can't have just one. But right now, the one that stands out to me in my mind, I'd have to say Ohio State, Michigan, going back to college football. That's my big one. How about you, Nick? What's your biggest?
Michigan, another phenomenal one. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's not like really a wrong answer when it comes to rivalries because there's so many. Yeah. College football, there's a million. If you think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their game at the end of the year, and they're playing for some kind of freaking, rake or wheelbarrow or a rock. You know what I mean? There's so many like of them games, rivalry games at the end of college football season. So, that's another great one, Jake.
How about you, Nick?
Yeah, no, that's the one I was going to roll with, Ohio State, Michigan. I mean, whether you're on the Michigan side or Ohio State side, you know exactly when that schedule comes out what game you're looking forward to, and packed with 100,000 plus fans, students just going absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great one,
and plus it goes 100 plus years deep. Like the Yankees and Red Sox. I mean, you really can't go it's hand in hand.
There's no right answer.
No,
yeah.
there's no really right answer.
No,
when rivalries are that deep.
I'll disagree with the poll too. I mean, part of me agrees with it because it semi is, but I'll go and I'll stay at home, right? I'll stay at home and I'll go Eagles Cowboys, and what it became in this area.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and people can say, well, you know, Cowboys fans will try to tell you that their rival forever has been the Redskins. Okay, that's fine. Redskins have been irrelevant, so you can't be a rival when you've been irrelevant. When you talk about the Eagles Cowboys, every time both teams are relevant, that's a rivalry. All right, that's a hatred here. Okay, now I'm just speaking on in terms of in this city, right? So I'll go outside the box and say that's because that's my biggest rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you talk about having an opportunity to play the Cowboys and beat the Cowboys, some people in Philadelphia, that makes their whole season. Not me. I mean, I'm in for the playoffs, baby.
Right.
But some people, that makes their whole season.
Yep.
To me, when both are good, like how great was that? How great was last year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my I mean, look what we did. We took it from. We took it from. That's what it's about. It's about having that in your that feel for the whole week after you beat them. The pump in the chest, the feel good about yourself. I mean, that's the biggest rivalry for me. There isn't a bigger one, right? I hate the Braves in baseball. I hate the Penguins in hockey. I hated the Knicks, but they're not even relevant. So now I hate the Raptors and Celtics because they're in our division.
Mm-hmm.
The Mets aren't irrelevant. The Mets are irrelevant now.
Mets are irrelevant. Okay, you know I hate the Nationals because I always have.
Right.
Fraudulent organization, in my opinion. But to me, it's the Cowboys. I mean, listen, I've been grounded at a younger age over Cowboys-Eagles games and losses, and the effect that them losses have had on me through years of the 90s, on the toll it took on my body and me mentally. All right?
Mm-hmm.
You would have thought I was playing. And the Tommy
I'm with you there, Jake.
The Tommy Hutton miss.
Oh my god.
Miss.
Oh my god.
Extra point. Couldn't catch it. Couldn't catch it right in the palms. Right in his mitts.
Mm-hmm.
Right in his mitts. And my uncle, who I love death, but is a fraud when it comes to this, is a Cowboys fan. And I used to go down to Dallas and visit him. And we used to go to Eagles Cowboys games. So I knew that phone call was coming. I was about 10, I think, at the time. The phone call was coming. My cousin, another crumb brulee, all right? He's another Cowboys fan. Okay, so I knew that was coming too. And I knew some guys in school. And I knew what I was going to deal with. And at 10 years old, I remember getting drugged down the steps because I was yelling, I'm not going to school. I was yelling, no. No. like somebody was harming me. You understand this? Like you would have thought you would have thought it was an SVU. You know what I mean? That's what you would have thought. This is an episode of SVU right here. I mean, this guy just got bent over. That's what you would have thought at 10 years old. Now disturbing. And Eagles Cowboys loss can be to me.
Oh man, it runs deep.
It's deep. It's deeper than any rivalry I know. I watch Boston and Yankees because it is a great rivalry and I love baseball. I'm a baseball junkie. But this one's different. This one's different. And I'll speak in terms of I know the Philly faithful out there listening. And if we didn't go through this board and not name that one, I think we'd be doing a disservice to the Eagles Nation out there. Because I know for a fact when we lose to them, especially in big spots, it haunts.
For months, for weeks.
Months. Off seasons like they're going through right now. All right? They can try to play it off like we're not their rival. All right?
And you get that text. And you get that text as soon as the game's over from your Cowboy. Oh, how about them Cowboys? And you just got to turn your phone off.
Yep.
Yo, Jules, how many times, Jake, Steve, how many times throughout games, right? Because recently, we've been good since the 2000s for the most part. You know what I mean? Always competitive. But they owned us for a minute.
Yeah.
But like when we were in games, the crickets. As soon as that game comes to an end, they come storming out. It's been their MO for years. It's nothing new. Nothing like, oh my God, look at Cowboys fans. Look what they're doing. It's nothing new. They're crumbs. The Jersey ones are their worst. The worst of the worst. And the ones in Dallas, put them right up there. They're terrible too. They're terrible. And I respect what they were in the 90s. I respect the hell out of it. How can I not? I'm a sports fan. But losses, and that loss being drugged down the steps by my mother and getting grounded for 2 weeks still haunts me. Tommy Hutton. I'm making it a 10. At 10, I'm boom, down. Right finger down. Finger down.
Laces out.
Laces out. Boom. Yeah, laces out. Let's go. But that's how it is. That's the biggest rivalry. I almost want to play him now. Where can we play him now? Let's go. No fans.
Let's see. Let's go to the comments real quick.
But the thing about me with the Yankees Red Sox is like they just try and push it too much like down your throat, like Sunday night baseball, Yankees Red Sox, Wednesday night baseball, Yankees Red Sox, like just
they're creating baseball nights for Yankees Red Sox.
Yeah, like come on, like we get it, we get it.
They are literally creating new baseball nights for Yankees Red Sox.
Like every primetime game don't gotta be Yankees Red Sox.
No, other teams play. Other teams play, and that's been their MO for years, Jules.
Yeah, that's just my issue with that whole rivalry.
That's been their MO for years. They shove that rivalry down your throat.
That's the worldwide, the leader.
But listen, that's why it is for me, guys. That will always be my biggest one, no matter what.
What about Al Davis and Pete Rozelle in the NFL? I mean, that's pretty much what got us to having where we're at now with two conferences. We wouldn't have the league that we have right now if it wasn't for that rivalry.
There's a lot of ones like that, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Tad,
I got some tennis ones for you too. So like, you remember like Monica Seles and Steffi Graf and all that? Those great tennis battles, like Andre Agassi and Pete Sampras, like when tennis mattered. In the
Federer and Nadal is probably
That's a great one.
Yeah, that's what I'm
honestly, that's probably like top 3.
When we're talking about tennis, yeah, it's probably.
If you're talking about individuals,
Yeah. I mean, and we still have it, and we're still in football. We haven't talked about Brady and Manning.
Big one, brother, and a one that Tom owned for Tom owned that rear for a long time. I mean, there was no running from that. I mean, there was a point in time. I mean, I'm a Brady cat, and I know, and I'm an Eagles guy, so everybody calm down. But I'm a Brady cat because I respect greatness, especially when we beat it. I can respect it even more. You know what I mean? I just put a smile, like, yeah, he's the best. Don't forget that one. Just don't forget it. But that one, Peyton couldn't get over the hump.
No.
Peyton Manning could not get over that hump of beating him. It was amazing. Peyton would have MVP years, light lamps, right? I mean, throwing the Marvin and Reggie, but never really had the defense. And when he could never go to New England and get it done. He could never go up to Foxborough in January or, and win them games. Never could. That was the difference. Ty Law.
Here's another one.
Ty Law still wrong.
There's another one for you. Ty
Law, sorry. Hold on. Ty Law. Is that you? Yeah. Ty Law just picked off another one over there.
All right, here's a basketball one for you. How about Hakeem and Ewing?
It's a great one. Jordan versus the Pistons.
Yep.
You want to stay with basketball for there? Jordan versus they beat his butt for a minute. You talk about what makes greatness? He took his lumps. When Detroit won their chips. Jordan couldn't get through them. They were too physical, abused them. Part of the reason the NBA changed a little bit after that. They didn't really allow that as much. It was still physicality, but not to that level.
That was street ball.
Oh, late 80s. You were playing, and this isn't, you were playing, you were playing street ball, you were playing prison ball. Like,
you're going 12 rounds.
Like when you're playing with your boys. It's almost like prison ball when you play with your boys on the playground because you just get physical. Nobody's calling nothing. You call that? You're almost not allowed to. You lose your respect. Yeah. Lose your respect. You start freaking calling fouls, playing street ball, prison ball type atmosphere. Go ahead, Jake. You want to read a bunch of the comments? I'll start you off at the top here if you want.
Yeah, that's fine.
But you can't be that guy in the park calling fouls. You don't want to be that guy. You can't be that guy.
Nah, that dude, no disrespect to that dude, but that dude goes home and he's making the dinner, and that's fine. You know what I mean? And he's got an apron on, and we know what kind of kid that guy is.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right, go ahead, Jake.
Brad Ryder says, "Fuck Boston."
Facts.
Agreed.
But
Agreed.
send that right back to the Yankees, Brad. Send it right back.
Jeff Lohmeyer says Michigan Ohio State is the best rivalry. Wouldn't appear that way with how badly we've been getting embarrassed the last 20 years. True, but can't deny the hatred between both fan bases. Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a great one.
I also,
That's a great one.
you know, as far as college goes, like college basketball, Duke and North Carolina is probably one of my favorites.
That's a great one too. That's a phenomenal one.
And you know why?
I like.
Because they're like
They're just
right
so
back a
close.
mile.
They're so close.
Not even.
They're so close.
That's one of the best ones in sports, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Because you get the college. The big thing that makes that better is that you get the college atmosphere, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what separates that one
Right.
from a lot of ones. Because anytime you're playing in anybody's park, essentially, you're getting a ruckus crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And ruckus crowds make rivalries even better, you know. And I think that's why North Carolina Dukes is a top 3 one on my list, no questions asked.
Yeah, no questions.
Not even up for debate. If you're not a basketball guy, then it's up for debate for you. I get that. Like you're not a b-ball guy, but everybody's a college basketball fan for the most part.
It's top 3, but not 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my big one for football that like outside of us is the Packers and Bears. That's my number one for the
Yeah, Rob Pove, that's on his list down here too.
Yeah, I'll get that
for his top 5. Bears, Packers, all Frazier, Lakers, Celtics. That's a good one. Canadians versus Maple Leafs, and Sox versus Yankees, like we touched on earlier. Yeah, no, it's a solid list.
It's a good one, Robbie. Frazier Ali is a great call.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a baseball manager one for you, Tommy. Tommy Lasorda and Dusty Baker
hated each other.
Yep.
Tommy hated everybody as he got older too.
Yeah, but you know, Dusty couldn't beat him, and then finally did like later on towards the tail end of his career.
You know, it's funny, but that's what and you said that about the Yankees, Red Sox, like the Red Sox never, got abused by them for years. That's what sort of makes rivalries. Getting abused and then getting over it is what makes rivalries.
Mm-hmm.
That's what creates it. That's the whole thing that makes it. You're going to get abused, and then that starts the hatred, right? Hatred doesn't start without abuse, right? So I got to get my doors kicked in for the hatred to start and the rivalry to begin.
Mm-hmm.
Like going exactly, going your point, going back to the Ali Frazier. What if Frazier never won that first fight? What if Ali won the first one?
Right.
Then it takes away from it. It's just like, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, now at least Ali loses his belt.
Yeah.
And now it changes the dynamic of them too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just common sense. Like the way the Red Sox beat the Yankees. That's why it's up the rivalry, because they finally beat him, and the way they beat him, and from then on, it's been, Red Sox have been good, then Yankees been good. Red Sox, you know what I mean? Now they're both good, and they both beat each other up. But for us with the Eagles, it started with getting our ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it all began. We Eagles Cowboys. The 90s, we got abused.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went and got Dion to make it even worse.
And then, listen, I was down the shore, and anybody remember this, please chime in. I was down the shore, and Ray Rhodes was the coach, and ESPN reported on the bottom line that the Eagles signed Deion Sanders. I swear.
Oh, no.
People remember this. I was calling everybody, let's go. Let's go. Prime time. You know what I mean? Like I was doing the legs and with a football in my hands back here, like prime time.
Right here.
Yeah, that's my dance move. I did that at my wedding. I did the prime. I mean, I'd love to get up and show you, but I did the prime, the little shuffle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anybody remembers that one? And then guess what?
What about Montana and Young?
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is. Eagles fans, Wentz fans versus Foles fans.
That's a good one.
Right? I mean, that became a huge rivalry here in the city.
It still is.
It hasn't. It hasn't ended. The only thing ending that is a guy getting corona and not being around.
Right.
It's never going to end.
And I was gonna say Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa, but the steroids thing, I just can't bring it up.
No, you can. It don't matter. I mean, and it's not like, hey, I condone cheating because it's terrible. They all did it. So I just look at it like, okay, they were all doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, now we talk about Astros cheating, that's a different story. But steroid era, they were all allowed to do it. Everybody was juiced up. I mean, Ron Gant, remember Ron Gant? I mean, think about guys. Think about guys around the league. Ron Gant was freaking the greatest looking guy in a uniform of all time. You know what I mean? And don't tell me he wasn't sauced up.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was sauced up back in the steroid era. Everybody. It's not an excuse to do it. I don't condone that shit one bit. But,
but it sure made it entertaining though to watch that.
You can still say some rivalries in there with Sosa and McGuire. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Both were sauced out of their mind, just driving balls.
I mean, and me being a young kid at that time, I didn't know what the fuck they were steroids. You know what I'm saying? I
got a NASCAR, and I got a NASCAR one for you guys too.
I thought guys were junkies.
Yeah.
I got a NASCAR one for you guys too. Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Yeah, I'm gonna log out of the stream.
God, come on, man.
That's a Zach Burrow.
Dale Sr. was a legend, dude.
That's a Zach Burrow one right there. That Zach Burrow would love that one.
It was fun. Yeah.
Here you go.
MV versus Karl Anthony Towns. That's a good one.
Gavin's a good one.
That's not a rivalry.
Here we go.
That's not a rivalry.
Reggie Miller, Spike Lee.
Reggie Miller, Spike Lee, phenomenal.
That's a great one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Chrome, another one here. Crosby
Ovechkin, yep.
Yeah, that's a good modern day one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because Gasol owns his ass.
Yeah. Tiger versus everyone else, yeah.
Jack.
Phil Mickelson. Tiger and Phil Mickelson.
I don't even put the ass in there. He's just a Jack.
You gotta go Arnie and Jack if you're going golf.
My dad calls him Jackie. My dad calls Greg Jackie.
Yeah.
Jackie.
Short for jackass.
Yeah. That's awesome. If you want to talk about other rivalries, you can talk about one that was, what do you call it, right in the Staples Center, Kobe and Shaq.
This is what happens with Wilson. See, Wilson does this and says these things on air, and then people think I'm a Cowboys fan. Wilson goes around like, oh yeah, Tom used to root for the Cowboys. I never rooted for the Cowboys. I met Cowboys players. My uncle owned a nightclub in Dallas. Think I didn't meet a few Cowboys players? I mean, shit. Guys were blocking the door while Irvin was doing lines of coke in the bathroom.
I was just gonna say you probably saw a few things too.
I've seen things. I've seen things.
You can't unsee it.
You can't unsee it. I mean, I wasn't at the cul-de-sac. I wasn't at the White House on the cul-de-sac, if you all remember that one. Mm-hmm. But I definitely met Darren Woodson. I met Shante Carver. I met Irvin. I met Emmett. I mean, never a Cowboys fan now because guess what? My roots are strong. That's when I could have got persuaded. I was 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Meeting goats. I wasn't persuaded. I wanted to take my flight home as soon as we got our butts kicked down there every time I went down there. I was like, I'm ready to fly home. Can I fly home tonight? Call my mom. I want to leave. I don't want to be down here anymore. 11 years old, like almost in tears. I got to come home. Yeah. I can't. I know Whataburger's great, but besides that, I'm getting it's abusive. What's your uncle doing to you? Nothing. He just keeps telling me how they beat us. Here we go. It's a good one.
Randy Orton, yeah. Randy Johnson, Barry Bonds. That's a great one.
Anthony's got a good one here, too. That's a phenomenal one.
Don Zimmer versus Pedro Martinez. Yeah, that's a real good one.
Oh, man.
Classic.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Well, no, I just am a realist with the Cowboys. Like, I've been a realist about their offensive line. I've been a realist about talent. And I've also been a realist about Dak stinking. So, I mean, I just keep it real with them. Like, when I say they had the best offensive line in football, I mean, they did.
Mm-hmm.
For the loss of Fredericks. But, for the loss of him, that's the best line in football. So, I mean, I just keep it real, Anthony. You know this, baby. You listen along. His name me below.
How about this one, Tommy?
In a parking lot. This is really, I tell you how it is.
So, on the rivalry thing, which rivalries do you think in national sports have gone out of hand? Like, we heard some of these things like you heard San Francisco 49ers fans were being stabbed at games and remember stuff where we had Giants fans and Dodgers fans. There were some problems and people had died in altercations in parking lot. What fan bases do you think in sports that have rivalries have gotten out of hand?
Dodgers.
Yeah.
Anybody that goes to Dodger Stadium wearing opposing colors is a target. Is a target. And it's because of gang shit. That's why. That's why. Probably like a stadium everybody wants to go to, but a stadium be careful going to. That's all. That's all. Be careful who you be careful who you get smart back with. You know what I mean? That's all. If you're careful, you're probably okay. But just be careful if you get smart back with the wrong person. Only issue with Dodger Stadium.
Yeah. I think it's any one of the California sports teams when you look at it like I said, like you heard stuff with Tommy's and stuff with the Dodgers and stuff with the 49ers and Raider fans. It might kind of die down a little bit with the Raiders going to Vegas. Might kind of like ease some of that a little bit, but like
I think all that Raiders black hole shit, that's all for show. That ain't real.
No, I know it's not like that real like that, but like the 49ers fans, I guess they kind of like because the Raiders have that persona, they kind of like show up. You know what I mean?
All I know is, opposing teams coming into the link, you gotta be careful. Don't wear no Cowboys shit coming into the link.
Yeah, I saw someone in the comments earlier say, I think Chrome said it. I think he said Eagles and Giants. Like my only thing with that is the Giants just haven't been good the last.
Oh, see, like that's like I like see. Listen, that like where Tommy's like sitting there saying like we have this big thing with the Cowboys.
Yeah,
and it's because not just because of the beatings we got, but also it's because of how Cowboys fans are. They're smug, they're arrogant, they always got their nose up at us. But if you really go back and look at it, I'm with the real rivalry being the Giants, just because it's been so long. We had so many stuff like we both have had lulls where we're not so good, and there's this, that, and the third. But I still think there's more memorable stuff there than there is with Dallas.
No, I mean there is. It's not a bad rivalry.
That comment's
I like the kids that chime in. You know what I mean?
I like little kids that chime in.
I like the youngins who chime in. Like, I mean, me and Jules, we ain't gonna be here. We ain't gonna just start posting pics of our girl or our girls. Yeah. But we'll tell you something. Tread lightly, baby. Tread lightly down there because you don't know what we got. All right, just be careful. Be careful because I could pull yours. You understand? Like I can still pull yours. 37, I can pull yours. You're 20, I can pull her. All right, be careful. You want some lessons? We can help you. We're here to help the people, but just tread lightly. All right, Gav? I think I know who that is too. Might be one of the guys in A2D poker. I mean, there's pictures. I mean, I ain't here to put my wife out there. There's pictures, not like that. Like that, but there, right on my timeline. You say here. All right, so calm down. All right.
Oh man.
What's up, Eileen? Steelers, Ravens. That's a great one.
That's another good one.
Yeah. There's just,
I mean, if we're talking Steelers, it's Steelers Oakland. It's Steelers Oakland.
You think?
Come on. From the rivalries in their 70s and 80s. Are you kidding me?
Well, if you go back, If you go back,
that rivalry ended though.
Yeah, that ended.
It's over.
It was still a rivalry. It doesn't mean like it came just because it's dead now doesn't mean it's not relevant.
You don't make the rules. You're not making rivalry rules here. We are.
LSU Bama.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
LSU and Bama.
That's a good one.
Auburn Bama too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Spurrier versus the SEC.
Yeah.
Roger Clemens, Mike Piazza. That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
We saw that one already.
Nolan Ryan, Carlton. Was it Carlton Fisk?
I think so.
Was it Fisk that Nolan beat the crap out of?
I forget.
Oh, it definitely was not Carlton Fisk.
No, it was. Oh my goodness, I know exactly who it is.
I know it is, and I can't think of it right now for some reason.
I got it.
It was some utility. It was some utility guy. I forget who it was. Oh man, he's got a memorable name. I'm just forgetting.
Ventura.
Huh?
Ventura.
Oh, Robin Ventura. That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Robin
Yep. Got it.
that's
Mm-hmm. Nolan Ryan, Robin Ventura. Yep.
Now here's a college
What
football.
rivalry do you think will never end? What rivalry do you think will never end? Like
There's
we
a
just said,
bunch.
we just said the Raiders and Oakland ain't gonna happen anymore. What
This one-
rivalry do you think will never
This
end?
one will never
With
end.
the-
Lakers Celtics. No, that one ain't going anywhere.
That one will never end. Lakers Celtics. I mean, plenty of people chimed in on ones that, our poll question will never end.
Mm-hmm.
Red Sox Yankees will never end.
No.
Phillies Cowboys.
What's one you think? What do you think? What's brewing that's
This one
about to
never
come to the
ends.
forefront?
UNC Duke never ends.
Cardinals Cubs will never end. Like Chrome said, that's a good one.
Cubs never ends.
What's a new rivalry that's coming up that people should pay attention to?
That's a good one.
Maybe this one right here.
Phillies Mets. Yeah.
I think that could come back and come back hot because the Mets are better.
I think it's going to be. Well, what do you think it'd be the Nationals over the Mets at this point in time, considering the
No, because
Harper
the
back-
New York hate. The New York hate's more natural for us.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It is.
It's like
Washington hates. Washington hates manufacturing.
Exactly.
Yep.
You think NY in front of something, you're like, yeah, we don't like them.
Yeah.
When it comes to sports,
I'm always like that. Some people be like, "Hey, come to New York." I'm like, "No, fuck that."
here's
So
a go.
why I'm like,
little bit.
I'm from Philly. Fuck that.
Clippers Lakers. Yep.
Clippers Lakers
That's
out.
going to be. That's going to be a new one. Yeah, that's going to be a new one.
Here's a good one.
LeBron Jordan.
That's not
Never
a
even played
rivalry.
each other.
That's a media.
Yeah,
thing.
I
That's a
wouldn't.
media.
Yeah, I wouldn't
No,
consider
I'm
that.
saying never played each other, but a rival. It's amazing.
That's
It
a,
is.
that's a
Never played each
manufactured
other,
rivalry.
It's a fictional rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
No. Rivalry. LeBron versus the GOAT. That's the rivalry.
Yeah. You're right.
Because everyone keeps throwing that in our face. Look, is he the GOAT yet? Is he the GOAT? Listen, he's probably the greatest all-around basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen an athlete like him, but he can't. You just like literally, I'm sick of hearing this. Like, oh, it just. I don't want to hear it no more. They're the greatest ones of their era. Period.
Winston Dak is a great one.
Becoming one. Like
Yeah.
yes.
That could be one if Dak stays. The fact that he hasn't signed, the fact that he's asking for a lot of money, that rivalry could very well disappear by the end of the season.
We'll say. But I just don't see the Cowboys moving on from Dak. But again, we'll say. I
think that's the reason why they franchise him, because now no matter what, they get comp back for it.
Yeah, but he still hasn't signed his franchise tag yet. He still hasn't signed the tender yet. So we'll see. Eileen says, who's Penn State's biggest rival? I think Iowa. I think that's a good one.
It's Ohio State. It always has been.
Yeah, Ohio State's another one.
It's Penn State's natural rival is Ohio State. Anyone says anything different is fooling themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a rivalry because we're still getting our heads kicked in. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a real.
It's the one that. No, if you go back and look at it, every time Penn State is having one of those seasons, like, oh man, this could be the year. This could be the year. They go and play Ohio State and get their heads kicked in. And that's the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's how
it goes. That's how it goes.
Taylor chiming in. What up, A2D? What up, Taylor?
What's up, Taylor? Everyone's saying Eagles Cowboys.
Eagles Cowboys. You can go back and listen to it.
Yep.
Right. I mean, that's the one for me.
Well, and I think the one rivalry in Philly that we don't talk about a lot is because hockey is still kind of that one that we don't talk about is the Flyers and Penguins. It's a real Pennsylvania rivalry.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a good one. That's a great one.
It's the one I think that as that team continues to develop over the next handful of years, it's going to be the one that, as I was just saying, one of those upcoming rivalries. Like you guys are talking about the Mets. Well, I think it's going to be more of that.
How about Oklahoma, Texas? Daniel Baker chiming in.
It's a great one.
Watch party.
That'll never go away either.
Nope, that'll never go away. Florida, Georgia, another great one.
Nope.
Remember in the 90s, Florida State and Miami.
Yeah.
Florida State, Miami. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Anything Miami, down anybody playing them down there in the state of Florida was,
Mm-hmm.
even the Gators were trying to be. Everybody wanted to be their rival.
Yep.
And those 80s and 90s, early 2000s.
Marcus
Best
Motley.
college football team I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah.
2000 Miami.
We'll do a show on that one.
2001 Miami.
Best team you've ever seen in sports. Whoa. It
Yeah.
might have been a college team.
Yeah. I
know what I
mean, if you think of the guys that were on as backups coming as freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the running back class.
Yeah.
Right? Like the running back class, anybody on the line,
Yeah.
defensively, corners.
We're talking about Sean Taylor on the bench.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Because Ed was playing over him, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't Ed that was playing over him. Wasn't Ed Reed?
Yeah, Ed came out 2002. Yeah.
Right. It had to be Ed that was playing over him. Nobody else was. I mean, they've had a lot of great players, right? No, nobody else was playing over him unless it was Ed.
Nah.
Yeah, no.
This was Ed. They had one of the Blade brothers. Remember the Blade brothers?
Oh yeah. I remember the Blade.
No, it's not.
Al Blades was.
Al Blades.
I just seen it with Lindros and Bobby Clark. No, it was Lindros and Rod Brindamore. Remember that it wasn't Bobby Clark.
Bro.
Now people talking about the best teams. They
Bad five.
Here's a great one. Here's a great old
Bird versus Magic. That's a phenomenal one.
You know, that one goes under the radar.
Going back to college.
Mm-hmm.
What about Wilt and Bill Russell? Going back.
Yeah, that's a great one too.
Saints versus the refs.
Saints versus the refs.
Saints versus the refs is a classic.
Marcus Motley has a really good one. Ron Artest versus the fans.
That's
Very solid.
Marquise, don't leave Steven out of there. Don't leave Steven Jackson out of there.
And Jermaine O'Neal.
Jermaine. He started that, didn't he?
I think he did.
On the court.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that was a funny one. Everybody got
mad. I think it was with Ben Wallace or Rasheed.
It was that whole squad.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't want to mess with Rasheed though. You don't mess with Rasheed Wallace.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean that guy.
Mess with the Philly players.
No,
you don't mess with them. They got a little more toughness than most.
Yeah.
So you don't mess with the New York kids either.
Mm-hmm.
Playground kids, you don't mess with them.
No.
Come on, man. Our fans are crazy enough to pick fights with Ty Dogan. Come on, leave us alone.
That's Suns versus Spurs. Yeah, that was a good rivalry.
And then he says Mavs versus Spurs right after. That's a great one. Yeah. All right. So obviously, moving forward, the first NFL virtual draft is next week. Basically, it's a fantasy draft on ESPN and live television, but just with all the little intricacies going into it, I know they said EA Sports, they're doing like a little thing to where they're making it to where players getting selected. They're doing like a little simulation to where the players will walk up to the podium and get their jersey. But like, because you're having all these GMs, and obviously you heard Roger Goodell's doing the picks from his house. I'm just wondering how you guys think that'll work out and kind of like what you'll expect from this draft on Thursday. Do you expect like kind of like some slip ups to happen, some internet issues? Because the NFL touched on yesterday, if teams have internet issues, they'll pause the clock and let teams figure it out.
I think like if I go just off of what happened here at A2D, we're all doing shows here, and then everything happened. We had to go remotely, and it's been smooth the whole time. You know, and I don't got NFL money, so. Right. I think it's going to go off without a hitch. Now, will somebody have an internet issue here and there? Maybe. Probably not. 2020. Like, everybody, you know, if you got money, you got higher speed internet. You guys aren't running on, like, some you know, don't got some internet in the house you never heard of before.
Listen, they are hard lined in.
Yeah.
They're hard lined in.
The Gator
how we better be hard lined in.
Yeah, right.
We ain't no time for that. Ain't no time for that. But no, Jake, I think it's going to be no issues. It's going to be the same, no. But for us fans, it's the same, dude. All I care about is who you're picking. I don't need the fans there.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me either.
It might even be better. It might even be smoother. And I don't think teams are going to reach as much. I think you're going to see boards play out better now.
Yeah.
Because teams usually go off of what other teams do. You know, and start overvaluing guys. So we'll see. But I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think it's going to run pretty smooth.
What about you, Steve?
I'm kind of on the same boat. Listen, like we're, it's not like we're in the Stone Age and like the like 1980s. Like it's to the point where it's a big machine working here. Unless somebody's having some serious connectivity issues, which there might be some some places that weather is spotty, whatever, etc. But other than that, it's like we were all saying, it's basically it should be smooth sailing.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be an issue. Like, you heard people complain, oh, what about hacking? This, that, and the third. Like, listen, at the end of the day, that stuff's already happened at the end of the when it comes down to anyways.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna either make that pick or you're gonna move on from it. At the end of the day, we're still, you still have to see who goes before you anyways.
Right.
So if someone's trying to figure out what direction you're going, whatever.
Yeah.
You already do that with people where you have media members sitting there saying like, hey, the X person is saying that they're going this way, looking at this player. So we already get that now. So it's we'll be fine. It'll be fine. It should be a unique experience because it's changed. It's different. It's not something we're accustomed to. It's not something the league's accustomed to. It's not something that anyone's really accustomed to. So it's kind of this intriguing new toy that is put in front of us, and we'll see how it operates.
Yeah, no, just kind of bouncing off what everyone said. I agree for the most part as far as just everyone being hardline in. You would think they'd be hardline in anyway, but I'd see it personally just going on without a hitch. I can see ESPN, since they're doing like similar, like a merger with ESPN and NFL Network. I can see them doing like little like cheesy things, like for whatever reason. I just picture like the NFL thinks, or the league thinks, it's a good idea to have Roger Goodell's dog send him a letter with like one of the picks, like walk up to him or something like that, just something cheesy, just to like entertain like the casual fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll probably have some kind of cheesy stuff going on, but I think overall it's going to be usually how it's run.
Yeah, it's going to be fairly simple. Eddie Yanin has a good comment. Watch the pass; they'll find a way to cheat as always. Yeah, if you hear reports of their internet going down, then you're gonna have accusations coming left and right. So that's gonna be a whole mess. But yeah, I think other than that, the draft should be going on without a hitch. Shouldn't have any issues or anything like that. I mean, like night 1, we might have some hiccups, but other than that, night 2 and 3, it should be smooth sailing. I don't expect anything crazy.
ESPN they are doing a mock draft on Monday.
Okay.
Show us how. What to really expect.
Yeah,
and kind of like a trial run.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think it's going to run smooth. I mean, we're doing one. We're doing one tonight, so
just segue right into it.
Yeah, we're doing one tonight, so we'll see how smooth that one goes for us, and that sort of tells you how it's going to go for them. But I don't think it's going to be an issue.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be an issue either. But obviously, touching on the A2D mock
draft, it'd be hysterical, Greg. I mean, Greg. I got Greg in my head because he just texted me.
How dare you?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's just texting me. But speaking of that, I would love to see an internet go down. I mean, that'd be classic. I would love to see like the Cowboys internet go down and then like reach on a pick.
Right.
Big fan of that. So cross your fingers.
But speaking of the A2D mock draft, we are having an A2D mock draft reaction show tonight at 8 p.m. Most of your A2D personalities are going to be there in attendance. Going to be doing 2 minutes per pick. Going to have highlights per every player, I think, in the first round. I think we have all the highlights set and ready to go. Going to be discussing the pick for 2 minutes, breaking it down. Then obviously go on to the next pick, discuss that a little bit, give our preview before the pick is made, because we're doing like a simulation type thing. We're not making the picks ourselves. So talk about who the team should pick, what position and need they have, and stuff like that. Then they'll make the pick, break it down, just rinse and repeat. Very simple. Should be a great time. We'd love to have all you guys there. We're going to have a blast. We're all excited.
Yep.
Tonight at 8 p.m. You don't want to miss it. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast.
Great freaking time.
Yeah.
Come join us. Break down some players. Complain how much we need a wide out.
Right.
Drool over guys. Get pissed off at general managers for bad picks. That's what tonight's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of attacking. I feel it. I'm smelling it out. I'm like a freaking. I'm like one of Joe Exotic's lions, tigers, whatever.
Just waiting.
And the meat, I smell the blood. They just put it out. I smell it, and I know it's coming to the cage. That's
oh goodness. You guys have anything else before we wrap up?
No, I mean, I guess for the most part, we're kind of saving everything for tonight. I guess just letting everyone know, continue to pay attention to the shows, connect, and we're going to be running some of these giveaways that I've been talking about it over the next few days and weeks, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that too.
Then obviously on Thursday we're going to also have a live reaction show to the NFL draft on Thursday night, so that should be fun as well.
So yeah, make sure everyone tunes in tonight for all our craziness, and then Thursday we're gonna have a lot of stuff coming out. Tommy was and Ralphie were talking about all kinds of stuff they got planned. So let's get it done, guys, and looking forward to tonight, and this week should be fun with the NFL draft. Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Finally gives us something to talk about for once.
Hey, Eddie, come join us tonight at 8:00, brother. We're going to be doing all draft stuff. We're doing a simulated draft like Jake was just talking about. It's going to be so much fun. Doing every pick. We're doing 2 rounds. And we're going to be rotating guys in. We're going to have highlight videos of guys, everything.
Yeah.
It's going to be so much fun. I'm jacked up for it.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
It's happening. I keep forgetting the draft's Thursday and not tonight.
Right.
I'm all draft up now.
But obviously, as always, thank you guys for joining us this week on the Weekly Roundup. We love you guys. Just hope we kind of gave you a little something to break the monotony in in your house while you're stuck in the house.
The Andes.
Yeah. 10. But we hope we kind of just deterred you guys, kind of just distracted you from all the craziness that's going on with the whole COVID-19 situation. Because that's what we try and do at A2D, just kind of help you, give you a laugh a little bit, talk some sports, just relax. Nice, chill environment. But as always, we are brought to you by our doc, Make 'em Yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, and Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. And also, we are brought to you by Ambuck Services, AMBUCK Services.com. Call Michael Ambrose, tell him A2D sent you. Get yourself 20% off gutters, gutter guards, any work you need outside your house done. And that is ambuckservices.com, AMBUCK Services.com. All right, guys, that's been this week's episode of the Weekly Roundup. I'm your host, Jake Friel. As always, Steve Reichel, Tom Arnone, Nick Giuliano. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys tonight at 8 p.m. for A2D's mock draft reaction show. We'll see you guys soon. Later, guys.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.